Hello. I'm gonna keep telling you some OkCupid stories, or another OkCupid story, because I already have this fancy little computer set up to do so. So this time I'm gonna tell you about the Kenyan, which he was actually legitimately from Kenya, which is somewhere that I super badly want to go someday to go on safari and camp out in one of those big old tents. So I was really excited about the prospect of hitting it off with this kid and maybe getting to go to Kenya and meet his family. I know I probably was getting ahead of myself, considering we only ever went on 2 dates, but, a girl can dream, can't she? So anyway, we met and he seemed okay, but not super awesome. So we had some drinks at the bar and then ordered some appetizers and things like that and chatted, and he seemed like he could be an okay friend, but not anybody that I was super attracted to. So we went downstairs and started playing darts, and he made this wager that if he won the game, then I would have to go out with him again. And I stupidly accepted that wager because I'm not good at darts at all, and I didn't really want to go on another date with him. But I went ahead and agreed, and he won, so I had to go out with him again. And we ended up going to see a movie, which he picked like some horrible action movie, and normally I like action movies pretty well, but this one was bad, and he didn't consult me at all as to whether or not that was okay. He also showed up really late and was trying to like kiss me at the end of the night, so I made it really clear that I did not think that he and I could be involved in a romantic relationship. So then he said that that was fine, and we just didn't really talk for a while. But a couple months later, after I had kind of the beginning of the real relationship part of my only real relationship, that part ended poorly too, but that's beside the point. We can talk about that later. Anyway, after I broke up with that guy for a while, the Kenyan contacted me again, and he asked if I wanted to go dancing with him. So since I was feeling a little down about breaking up with the stupid kid, I ended up going with him, and he showed up really late once again, and because we got there so late, we had to wait in line for like an hour to go into this club. And I was wearing heels, and I don't ever wear heels, so my feet were killing me before we even got in there. So I was pretty grumpy, because girls know you get grumpy if you're wearing heels that aren't comfortable. You've got to stand in them forever. But anyway, go inside, and it's like not the coolest club in the world. It's got all these separate rooms and stuff, so it's not even like you're with a lot of people because everybody's segregated into different rooms. But he really wanted to wait until at least 2 a.m. when the main dance floor opened. And once we finally got to go in that room, I was like, hell no. There's no way that I am dancing down there. Because it was down there. It was like this pit. It was probably deep enough that it was like up to my chest. Just a pit in concrete with railings all the way around it with just a few openings. So basically, if there was a fire, you all die because you trample each other trying to get to the 3 openings in the pit. Essentially is how that looked to me, and I'm not willing to be trampled to death in DC with somebody that I don't even like that much. So I let him go down there and dance, and we said that we would leave by 3. So when it was getting close to 3 and he hadn't come out of the little pit yet, I was getting kind of annoyed because I kept getting hit on by all these guys who were like, it's nice to see a white girl with a black girl booty, and it's like, oh yeah, thanks, I don't hear that all the time or anything. It's not like I have a tiny waist and a big butt and I'm white so that I don't ever hear that I've got like a black girl butt. Yeah, that's cool. It's original. Guys should always go with that. But anyway, I was just grumpy. I think I might be grumpy right now if you can't tell. Anyway, I finally talked to him and when he came off the dance floor, and I was like, we should go because it's close to 3 and we said we could leave at 3. And he didn't want to because he hadn't gotten any numbers yet or anything like that, and I clearly wasn't gonna hook up with him, so he didn't want to leave, so he decided that I should just leave by myself if I didn't want to wait for him to drive me home. So this guy lets me walk alone in DC at after 3 a.m., get to the metro by myself, ended up having to ride the metro back to College Park and then take a taxi, which I didn't have enough cash for because I planned on riding in this kid's car home, at the end of the night. I had to take the taxi to my friend's house so that he could pay the other half of the fare because I didn't have enough money. And then he walked me the few blocks home from his house. And then at about 4 a.m., the Kenyan texts me really angry, saying all of these things about how I don't know how to please a man, I'm not a good woman because I don't know the first thing about giving a man pleasing attentions, and I'm never gonna find anyone until I grow up into a mature lady who gives men what they want, essentially. So basically, you didn't put out, and I couldn't find anyone else who would put out, and now I'm drunk and alone, so I'm gonna yell at you because that's the smart thing to do. So that's pretty much how that night ended. And then he, from time to time, still texts me, and he's like, "Hey, how are you, Miss Beth?" And I pretty much don't say anything, or I say nasty things to him because it's like, why are you still trying? It's been 2 years, and you were an asshole, and I was pretty clear about the fact that I thought you were an asshole, so give it up, dude. You're not gonna make a good impression at this point. Anyhow, that was exciting, and not really getting groped and then getting to find your own way home without much cash. Not the best night of my life. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the story, and I'll talk to you later.